I think that we should make 14 to 18-year-old technical colleges. So I think in making those, you'll be able to make sure that people, rather than doing GCSEs, they curate projects that are passionate to them, and then they are judged on that. So they get to show off what they're passionate about, and that should lead them into a future career.
Education reform. I think it's important that everyone has the same opportunities, and we should equally distribute state funding and funding towards schools.
I would get our universities to diversify by asking them to re-examine their entry requirements.
If you look at all the really big problems that people are worried about now, everything from housing to the delivery of public services, we have a lot of the solutions already available. We need to be much more comfortable with the idea that our public sector is welcoming of that kind of innovation, and much less judgment from people like the Daily Mail in saying, oh my God, the public sector has screwed up another project. That's going to happen if we experiment with new ideas. We need to accept that that's a consequence and get on with doing it and delivering on the potential we have.
I think for us it's about going beyond tolerance and like really allowing communities to start kind of working together, not just like not in conflict, but actually empowered to like spend time with one another and build their community together.
Yeah, going off that, like people feeling able that they have a contribution to make to their community, and then working with neighbours, with friends, and figuring out how we can progress as a whole.
I'd say we need better housing policy from all parties. I just see it as important to making sure young people feel that they have a stake in society, and that regional divides in particular with London and the North can finally be reduced, and we can have a united country.
Well, I've been involved with the anti-bullying cause for many years now. I'm involved with a children's charity called Red Balloon, and I serve on the All-Parliamentary Group. And there is a real issue of social injustice where there's at least 16,000 children that have been so badly bullied that they're not going to school anymore, and they're not getting any educational provision, and that is fundamentally wrong.
Well, last year I stood for elections 3 times, including as an MP, and after all that experience I truly believe now we need to move away from the first past the post system and bring in proportional representation, because I think that will give us better ways of working together and a more civil politics in society.
Just get everybody to listen to each other and actually work together, particularly with Brexit.
So over the past year I've spent a lot of time in communities around the world, from Filipino jungles through to in some areas of London that are quite deprived, and the big thing for me that comes through is that we need to create a more cohesive community, help the vulnerable, tackle loneliness, and really bring the country back together again.
I think you should lower the voting age to 16, because I think at the moment young people's voices aren't heard enough.
I would like everybody to have a possibility of lifelong learning, not just your one shot at school or what have you. You can dip in and out when you want, and you can choose what you want to study. You don't have to do what is supposed to be required by everybody now.
I would encourage everyone to go vegan for the environment and for the animals.
I'd probably want to make homelessness less of an epidemic and make sure that less people were suffering through homelessness.
I'd give people the right to die, because there's no point in living long if you don't have a quality of life.
I'd like to see a new framework for discussing politics publicly, privately, and also in the media as well. Just a way of pursuing truth whilst at the same time being respectful of one another, I think, and managing diversity of opinion in a constructive way.
For the UK to stop selling arms to Saudi Arabia to uphold our moral values.
Thank you.